Oh. Gah! Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Are you ready? It's finished. I'm not sure. It's clear. Cylinder closed and holster. Are you ready, Jake? Stand by. Eight, 2, 6. Recharge if necessary. Are you ready? Stand by. Recharge if necessary. Stand by. Unload and show clear. If clear, cylinder shut, holster.
Before we start, a little quick pre-commentary note. It's late, this is a long script, and I'm going to do it all in one take, so please forgive me if I misspeak or talk too fast, as I am sometimes wont to do. So first up, the Meltdown stage. It's just my allergies. My error here is instructive. Resilience is important. One thing went wrong, and it threw off my whole stage. That doesn't breed the kind of consistency I want to have as I move forward in USPSA. The mistake was the make-up shot on the first target. I had two positions planned at the up range end of the stage. One just inside the shooting area, and one at the first joint in the fault line going up the left side. Each position had 4 paper targets to hit, so I had no room for makeup shots. Once I took one, I was into uncharted territory. I've been listening to Ben Barry's Short Course podcast, which is good stuff, by the way, and one thing he talks about in the episode on his event-driven stage planning method is having a set of defaults you can fall back on to avoid having to plan for every contingency or visualize every step of a stage in detail. In that vein, I've got 2 thoughts on defaults for when a perfection-required stage plan goes off the rails. Option 1 is to take a standing reload on the array in question, then reload on the way to the next position like I was planning to do originally, and get back onto the plan. That takes the least thinking on the stage, which is its upside. And option 2 is take a standing reload on the array in question, and then don't reload on the way to the next position, just use the entire contents of the moon clip, and then take another standing reload if I need one. This might be advantageous in some places, but it's also a disadvantage in others where I've got to make a second standing reload, and it requires thinking ahead or having a branching plan, and I'm not quite good enough for that yet, I don't think. The last thing I have to mention on the Meltdown is the failure to engage penalty. I confused the ROs too. They called the FTE on a target that I hit. There was some confusion with the pasters, and missed the 2 targets that I failed to engage. The funny thing is that during scoring, I remembered engaging it and didn't think I'd earned the FTE, and it wasn't until I got home and looked over the footage that I realized I had more than earned it. I'd actually earned 2 and only got scored for 1. So now we're on to the match generally. I really like the stages this time out. Split the Rack in particular was a blast. It felt good to go fast like that, although it's a shame my old nemesis Agent P for Plate Rack showed up to make a bad stage out of a good start. On all the stages, there were no standing reloads required. There was compliance with the 8 rounds per viewer position rule. So this thumbs up there. I nearly shot a second B classifier, and if I hadn't pushed the shot right of the target on the first string, I would have had it. Next up is gear. I'm going to be at the Battle for the North Coast next weekend, shooting on Friday and ROing on the other days, so say hi if you're there. I'll be on stage 6 and 7. I had 2 new requirements for gear. A hat with a neck flap so I don't burn to a crisp, which is something that happens on a pretty regular basis even during short local matches, and ear protection that fits under a hat with a neck flap. So the hat's from some random made-in-China brand on Amazon, but it seems to do the job just fine. It also gives me a bit of a Lawrence of Arabia look, which is, I guess, kind of an upside. The brim is stiff enough to mount my camera, which is, of course, a requirement. Now if only I could get my camera to record straight. I think I gotta tilt it to the side a little bit more, but that's neither here nor there. For the ear protection, I wanted to try something of a semi-custom fit nature, so I bought a set of the Decibels percussive filters. That's decibels with the word bull, B-U-L-L, and a Z at the end. I'm pretty sure they worked. Louder guns close up were uncomfortable but not painful, which Wikipedia tells me is between 110 and 130 decibels, and my ears seem to be fine after the match, so that's good. That said, the perceived loudness is greater than with either well-inserted foamies or my preferred muffs. The latter doesn't work with the wraparound neck flap hat. I can't get the muffs on my ears and then the flap over them. The loudness may be an artifact of the percussive filters or possibly because of a poor fit. I might invest in a second set of molds to see if I can do better on a second attempt, or try remolding the first ones a bit to get deeper into my ears. Although I've kind of messed up one of them already by over-remolding, so maybe I should do that. Advantages, remaining advantages to this ear protection is the ability to hear conversation with the plugs in while you still get to block noise. It's like electronic muffs without having to have batteries or fiddle with volume knobs. That's a big win. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to try these in the first place. The other disadvantages, when I smile widely or laugh, my ears move and that dislodges the plug somewhat, and then they go back into place when I stop. So it's not like a serious problem, just a little inconvenience. Anyway, that's about all I've got for this time. The next match video I have, provided that all my stuff works at Battle for the North Coast, is going to be longer than this even. And this had some long stages. So hopefully you enjoyed this and will continue to enjoy that. And I'll see you then.
Jay, have a nice trip.